Hey, good to see you today. Thanks for joining me. Today I want to talk about something kind of important. It's what does success look like to you? So often we don't define what success is. Now, you may have heard the statistic that 92% of people never achieve their goals. And why is that? Why don't they achieve their goals? What's different about that 92% versus that 8%? Well, it's usually because that 8% writes down and has a defined measure or metric for success. They have written goals. Now, it's interesting because there is a Harvard study of the Harvard MBA students, and it was a 10-year study. And in that study, they surveyed the students, and it came to find out that only 3% of the students had actual written goals. 13% had goals, but they didn't write them down. The other 84% didn't have any goals at all. And so they waited 10 years and they went back and interviewed those students again. And it turns out that the 13% that had goals but didn't write it down, on average, were earning twice as much money as the people who had no goals at all. The other 3%, now this is really cool, the other 3% who actually had written goals and a plan for achieving those goals, they were earning on average 10 times more than the other 84%. That is just crazy. Oh wait, excuse me, no. They were earning 10 times more on average than the other 97%. So I made a mistake there. So the other 97%, 10 times more because they had written goals. Now imagine if you were to jump in your car and try to drive from Miami, Florida to San Francisco, California. And you didn't have a road map, you didn't have GPS, but you knew that you kind of wanted to go west, and so you randomly chose streets and roads and highways that went westward, west and north. How do you think that's going to turn out? Well, obviously it's not going to turn out very well. Now, as opposed, now if you had a plan, a map, a roadmap with destinations along the way that you could follow very precisely to get to where you wanted to go, now obviously the results would be very different. So the point is, if we don't take the time to define what success is for us, what our goals are, what our vision for the future is, how likely is it going to be that we're going to achieve those goals? Now I know for years and years we've talked about goals, and everyone's talked about writing down your goals, and people make New Year's resolutions, but as I said at the beginning, 92% of people don't even achieve those goals, even if they do have a New Year's resolution. So right now we need to sit down and define what success looks like to us, to our business, to whatever endeavor we're engaged in. We need to have both long-term goals and short-term goals. The way I like to do it is I like to create a 3-year vision of where I want to be in 3 years from now. And then I create 1-year goals. I create SMART goals, S-M-A-R-T. And then I create 90-day goals that their whole purpose is to get me towards my 1-year goals. And my 1-year goals are to get me towards my 3-year vision. So anyway, I just want to make sure that if you don't have it now, take the time, sit down, take a day or two if necessary, and define what success means to you, what it means to your business, what are you trying to achieve. Anyway, hey, thanks for joining me today. I will see you in the next video.